Live from the Pines, your favorite East Texas sport podcast. Coming at you live tonight. We're going to talk a little college baseball. College baseball season a few days out. So tonight we have joining us Lufkin native, Oklahoma pitcher, Reid Hensley, with his teammate catcher, Scott Mudler. How are you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Doing good. Appreciate you guys having us on.
You sound thrilled. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, we thank y'all for taking the time. I know Trey appreciates this time to get the bond and spend time with his little brother.
Yeah, I know he's loving this.
So we're a few days out from the college baseball season. Everything's, all the hard work in the off season. It's time to, get to showcase that. And Oklahoma baseball, is not ranked right now. Coming off a big season last year, y'all won the Big 12 last year, correct?
Yeah, regular season.
And you got the host of regional, correct?
Yep, we did.
So y'all are pretty fired up to get on the field and and get a chance to prove why y'all should be ranked and coming into the SEC the first year.
Agree, yeah.
Yeah, we're fired up for it. Obviously last year we had a good year. Reid and I, that was both of our first years here at OU, coming from junior colleges. So we had a good year last year. We won the Big 12. We hosted a regional. We lost the regional in the last game. It didn't go our way in that last game, which was heartbreaking, just going through that great regular season that we had. So I think coming back this year, for me, it's really just being hungry from, what happened last year and just kind of having that chip on our shoulder this year, being unranked right now. I don't pay attention to any of these rankings or any of that stuff preseason. I don't look into any of that stuff. I just let, think what we're going to do on the field is going to speak louder than all that stuff. But I think mainly, just for me, and I know Reid feels the same way, we're just going to have a chip on our shoulder this year and just prove, that we belong and, we want to get this team to Omaha. That's the main goal.
Yeah, I kind of rolling off that. Even though we did have a good season last year, we had a good team and all that, and we played well. I kind of like not being ranked. Kind of puts us as the underdogs. People are kind of look down on us until we go in there and get our job done and come out with dubs. So that's what I kind of like is like people are just going to kind of overlook us just because, we did lose some of our pitching staff last year. We lost our offense, but this year we have a really special team. We're going to be good pitching wise, and we're going to be good offensively. And I feel like that's one thing that kind of people are talking down on is our offense, because our offense last year, they were something special. Everyone just clicked together. They did their jobs. And basically our offense this year is we have 3 or 4 guys who were in the lineup last year that may play this year. So over half the lineup's going to be new. But, those guys, they're really good. They're hard outs. And so it's going to be fun to watch this year. It's going to be fun to be playing with them.
Well, Reid, yourself, you've had a hard time being in the shadow of your brother with all the athletic success he's had. So, being the underdog is something you're not used to being. But I know one thing me and Trey got to talk about a lot when you were at Tyler Junior College, and I just figured out, Muddy, you played a little JUCO baseball, but, Trey basically said how, you always said that the grind at the JUCO level is very different than, anything you'd seen. Oh,
yeah. Going to junior college and Bud knows this. There's no time limit on anything. You practice or play 7 days a week. They don't care. Like, you're out there grinding every single day. Here it's like you have a certain amount of hours you can be in the weight room, certain amount of hours you can be at practice. And once you hit that time limit, you got to go home. And I'm not saying it's not a lot. Like, we still do a lot of stuff. But being at junior college, basically for me, I was waking up at 7:30 every day, go to practice at 8, end at 1, go to our dining hall, get out of that, go back to lifting. And then after that, you're kind of doing your own thing, going back to the field, throwing, getting whatever work you need to get done. You just do it the next day. So you're basically doing like almost dang near 12 hours a day doing baseball, which is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a grind, but junior college baseball is a lot of fun.
Muddy, did you have the same amount of fun?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. There's nothing like junior college baseball, just like Reid said. There's not a lot of rules and regulations that go into it. So it's kind of, you're getting it kind of all on your own. You got to just put in all the work in junior college. That's kind of the, theme that everybody says about it. You kind of just have to grind your way out of JUCO. But like Reid said, it just prepares you for the next level, and that's what I think it's done for both him and I. It gets you in that mindset to get ready for that next stage, which is for us playing in the SEC this year. So it's really, I had an unbelievable experience in junior college. Great experience at Northwest Florida State in Niceville, Florida. So I had a great experience, and just ready to get after it. It brought me into Oklahoma, which I'm grateful for, and I'm ready to roll into this fourth year for me for college ball. So going into the SEC, so we're excited.
Nice. Y'all talk about JUCO just kind of being the Wild West of do anything you want to practice as long as you want to play as much as you want. How structured is it now being at OU? Kind of what does your day to day look like? I know we try to pick a light day that you could come and do the podcast. So what does the day to day look like at OU?
Yeah, I mean it's super organized here. Going from junior college to the D1 level, it's super structured and organized. We have an app that tells us where we need to be, when we need to be there, everything like that. So it's super organized, super structured. A typical day, for us would be, we wake up, we lift, we go to class, and then from there, we're basically at the field for, the rest of the day until pretty much, the night. To be honest with you, depending on the day, might get out of practice at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, but we're gonna roll into games this weekend, so it's gonna continue to be a structured, organized schedule that we're on. So it's been good.
Yeah, I mean,
Reid,
go ahead.
Reid, you got to catch your first year at UIW, and Muddy, you've been catching the whole ride. But basically at the JUCO level and everything, how many days of rest is your start catcher seeing in the JUCO level, because you're playing so many games, you're games during the week, games on the weekends, catching bullpens during the week, and all those extras.
I mean, for being at Tyler, you may get one day off, and that's about it. I mean, we played 2 games on Wednesday, 2 games on Saturday. And basically every other day we're doing inter squads. So I mean, you are probably rolling out 4 to 5 pitchers like per inter squad. So you're playing anywhere from like 6 to 10 innings. And I mean, you're gonna have every catcher catching, no matter if you're the starting catcher or you may be the 3rd or 4th string catcher. Like, you really don't have any days off in JUCO.
Yeah. Not a whole
Buddy,
lot.
how many days off do you get at OU?
I think we get one a week at OU. I think we get one just total, no baseball activity day per week, for the most part. But it's pretty much an everyday thing. We'll get that one day to kind of rest our bodies and stuff like that. But this time of the year, from now until June, where we want to be playing in regional, super regional Omaha, it's going to be a 24/7 type of thing. Going from starting right now. So we might get that one day to kind of give our bodies a rest, but for the most part, we're pretty much going full throttle from here on out.
Yeah.
Well, so the season coming up the opening coming up this weekend. Y'all are getting ready to start the season. Who are y'all opening up with this weekend?
Lehigh. They're from Pennsylvania, I'm pretty sure.
So basically these games, these early season games, you're not playing the SEC, you're not playing the Big 12, you're not playing the ACC Pac-12, but these games are very important due to the fact that it gives you a chance and gives your coaches a chance to see, a lot of innings, a lot of pitchers, a lot of guys getting to rotate the field, a lot of guys getting the ABs and everything. So, it's a big deal, opening the season up with these teams, that are not just your SEC schools and all that, because it gives y'all a chance to, shine and, the younger guys get a chance to prove themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say one good thing about this is because we go all fall and basically the first of spring literally playing against each other. And after a while you get pretty tired of that, pitching against the same guys and stuff. So, going into this weekend, we're going to treat it like it's the last game of Omaha. We're going to go into every game and try to win it no matter what. And for the new guys, it's a lot of the freshmen, they've never played college baseball before, so they're going to get an experience that they've never had before, and that's a cool thing. And some of these newer guys, that came from JUCO, we have a lot of JUCO transfers this year. They're going to get to experience Division I baseball also for the first time, which I mean, for me and Scott last year, I'm pretty sure it was a cool thing. Like that's something that every kid kind of dreams of. So I mean, going out there, I mean, hopefully everyone just kind of stays hungry and just. I mean, you're going to get so many opportunities here, and as long as people keep proving themselves as every time they go out, and they'll just keep getting more, and it's going to be fun.
Muddy, looking at this squad this year compared to last year's, what have the upperclassmen like you guys, what have y'all learned? And, y'all want to change going into this season, getting to lose at home and that regional was, that's hard. You got your whole city and the whole school out there behind you guys. And you want to, show those guys, you want to put on for the city basically. And now that you get to come back, this next season and you learned a lot, you had your first year at OU under your belt. So, kind of the nerves are, they're gone. So it's just play baseball now.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think we're going to change a whole lot. Our coaches do a great job with us, as far as our, kind of the way we play and the way we go about our business, the way they kind of handle, all of our players as a whole. I don't think we're going to change a whole lot from what we did last year. We obviously didn't, things didn't go the way we wanted them to go in that regional. But, with that being said, I don't think we're going to change a whole lot, with Reid and I being the returners. We're just going to do our best to show these, new guys the ropes of the program. We have a very, I think, blue collar mentality to this program. So we're just going to keep getting after it day in and day out and, just kind of lead these guys by example the best we can. That's one of the biggest things I want to do is just, go out there and, just put my head down, lead by example, and just get after it. So that's really what we're going to try to do.
I kind of picking back off that, like Scott said, I don't think we need to really change anything. We have a lot of new guys this year, so the biggest thing for us is trying to teach them like our standard of the program,
right.
Making sure we come in here and we're gonna work our tails off every day. We're gonna keep our noses down. We're not gonna look at social media or read off any of our stats. We can't be selfish people in this team. We gotta play for each other and play for our brothers and stuff like that. So as long as we can get them on board to doing that, we're going to be pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, one of the biggest things, too, I think that, makes the team great, what our players try to do and what our coaches try to do is, emphasize, when nobody cares who gets the credit, that's when we're going to be great, when nobody cares, who pitched good this game or who got the big hit this game, when no one cares about who's getting the credit, and we just end up in the the winning column, I think we're gonna be a great team, and I think that's really just what makes the team great. We're a team; everybody's got a job to do, so we're just gonna all do our part.
Yeah, nice. There's only one team that gets to win the last game of the season, so I know you are putting in the work to do that. What you guys are both coming into your last year of college ball, looking at the season, what are you guys looking forward to most? Is it, the road trips? Is it playing the actual games? What kind of sticks out to you guys that you're looking forward to the most?
I mean, me personally, the SEC. I can't take anything away from the Big 12. That's really good baseball. Any college baseball is good baseball. But, when you play baseball
especially at the Division I level.
Yeah, when you play baseball as a kid, anything that's on basically ESPN, that's the SEC baseball. That's what they see. Little kids see those guys playing, and it's just like a dream, basically. Growing up, that's what you want to do. So knowing that I get an opportunity to play in the SEC, that's just what's going to be fun. The atmosphere of it, of course, I haven't played in the SEC, but I know that's just going to be a totally different atmosphere coming from the Big 12 to the SEC, which is going to be a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel the same way. We came from the Big 12. Big 12 is good baseball. Any D1 baseball is good baseball, especially all Power 5 conferences. It's all good baseball. But the SEC, I think the environment that we're going to get walking into these stadiums and just the whole SEC environment is the thing I'm looking forward to the most. I want to hear these crazy fans, cussing us out when we're on the field. That's going to be my, part I'm looking forward to the most. Just the environments of, crazy fans and everything like that, and just a big spotlight. I think I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Reid, yourself, you had a stint at UIW. You got to go to JUCO and kind of find yourself as a baseball player and grow into, pitching. You got the velo, you got everything, you got all the things it takes. But this season being, you're basically your last year at college baseball. Do you feel like you're more confident on the mound as far as get put in the situations you were put in last year and get yourself out of those situations?
Definitely. I mean, last year was it's a new experience coming Division I baseball from JUCO. Because I didn't pitch a whole lot at UIW, and that being the Southland Conference, it's just kind of a different atmosphere, like I was talking about with the SEC. So now that I had the experiences last year, wouldn't say I'm as much as nervous, because first time I went out, I was kind of nervous. Not gonna lie, I had a lot of adrenaline, which I'm hoping that carries over. I want the adrenaline, but now that I know how the feeling is, and as long as one thing that Skip was preaches to pitchers, one pitch at a time. So no matter how I'm feeling that day, if I'm feeling good, that's good. If I'm feeling bad, who cares? I just want to go out there and get outs and kind of just stay one pitch at a time and not get out of rhythm or out of whack, or I'm trying to overthrow a certain pitch. So as long as I can just kind of stay composed, basically, on the mound.
Does it play a big difference, getting to spend as much time as you do with Scott, him being your roommate and him also being your catcher? When you're on the mound, you already have that chemistry and that bond and relationship. That makes a big difference up there, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, because I was a catcher, and I know, Scott knows this too. Any catcher needs to have good relationships with their pitchers, because, you want to, say you have a situation where it's 0-2, and you got a runner on third, and you throw a curveball in the dirt or a slider in the dirt. You have to have that, connection that he's going to be a dang brick wall back there, so he doesn't let the ball go by. And you just got to trust everything that he does back there, because, Scott being the catcher, he controls everyone on the field, where everyone goes, whatever play happens. So as long as you have that good connection, things keep firing your way and you keep going good.
Yeah, it's so important, if not the most important thing I think about catching is just having that chemistry with the guy on the mound, because, being on the mound is one of the most probably, lonely positions out there on the diamond. You're out there all by yourself, on the rubber, and you're trying to throw a pitch over a 17-inch plate, so it's having that connection with those guys on the mound, I think trumps all else as far as techniques or anything like that. As far as the catcher position, you got to have that relationship with your pitchers. They got to be able to trust you. You got to be on the same page at all times. So that's one thing I, take pride in, is obviously having that connection with Reid. We're roommates. We spend every day together, and then the other 20, however many pitchers we have on the staff, I try to have the strongest connection I can have with all of those guys to make sure that, we don't have to second guess anything. We're just always on the same page.
It's good. What so first game's Friday.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys doing preparing for the game? Day of game, what's kind of your game day routine?
Day of game?
Yeah.
Like game day.
Game day.
Yes.
Okay, well
day of the game. Day of game.
So,
yeah, you're gonna play baseball actually that day.
Okay. I mean
like this Friday, what are you doing?
So
what is
game is at 4:00. So we'll wake up probably, Bud and I would probably have to eat breakfast that morning, probably around 9:00. And then I think we're going to the field 11:30-ish, probably 11 o'clock, and then we'll have team lunch there. And then after team lunch, you're outside. Pitchers, they're kind of doing our own thing, with our running and stuff before games. Position players are stretching, getting ready for BP. So we'll go through that. We'll do BP, go back inside, have a pregame snack. We'll kind of go over our little meeting of how we're going to go out there and attack the other team. After that, we're all back together, headed outside, getting stretched out. Position players are getting stretched out, running. Pitchers are loosening up, throwing before game. And then after that, it's basically starting pitcher comes in. He gets warmed up. As soon as that happens, you're out on the line, national anthem, and it's ball game.
You got any superstitions, Reid, I don't know about?
Nah. Not that I know.
I was trying to
say
see what
what
Reid does
superstition.
before the game to figure out because I know he spent a good time. What was it, in the West Virginia bathroom? During.
No, that was at home when we were playing West Virginia.
Oh, okay.
I had to go use the
y'all
Did
restroom.
they like call for you? They call for you or something?
Yeah, that was when we played West Virginia Friday night. I was using the restroom. They got pretty mad about it.
Oh, yeah.
That was like around,
do you blame it
around
on
the time
like,
that I've at that time. That was kind of like around the innings I've gone in the game was kind of like anywhere from like the 6th to the 9th inning. So I was kind of in the restroom in the 6th inning, and they called down, told me to get ready, and no one knew where I was, and so I got in trouble for that.
Did you end up going in still, right?
Yeah, that was the game I pitched against
no
West
hitter?
Are you serious? Oh, that's right. Because I think we were at Roma's or somewhere watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody had the phone out.
Yeah.
Reid, something I want to ask you, you know, having the chance to come out of Lufkin, we've had a lot of big arms make it to the Division I level and the MLB level, and we've had a lot of position players also make it to, you know, the next level. But, like, looking back and, you know, look where you came from as far as the Legends and all the other teams you played for and had the chance to play for. What have you learned the most, and what do you give, like, what could you say back to, like, the kids that are coming up through the middle school and the high school level wanting to achieve that D1 dream?
I mean, just kind of be grateful for everything that you're given. I mean, not a lot of people get the opportunities that we do kind of growing up. I mean, I would say going to Lufkin High School, even though me and Cobb butted heads a lot my first couple of years there, that program does probably majority of what colleges do on a day-to-day basis. And at the time, I was just a teenage kid that butted heads with and wanted to argue about stuff, but just doing that stuff right there.
You still do that?
Yeah, we're doing that basically every day here. And at that time, I would say my first couple of years, I took that for granted and didn't really buy into it and like trust that was going to help me become a better baseball player. And then when I started doing that, like it actually paid off for me, and I was ready for the next level. So I'm just saying, like Lufkin itself is going to make you a better person and a better baseball player and prepare you for that next step.
Well, I'm sure Coach Cobb is at home watching right now, smiling ear to ear to hear Reid Hensley say that about him. But, yeah. Muddy, you come from, help me out here, Chattanooga, Georgia?
No, I went to Chattahoochee High School.
Chattahoochee High School. Johns Creek, Georgia. I bet it's a lot of peaches over there.
Oh, yeah.
What was it like growing up playing baseball in Chattahoochee, Johns Creek, Georgia?
Yeah, it was good. You know, I had a great experience, you know, coming up. That's where I think it's where some of the better, like, summer balls played growing up. You know, you got the East Cobb area. You got Lake Point up North Georgia and Ackworth. So, you know, growing up playing summer ball as a kid was always fun. You know, we didn't have to travel a whole lot because, you know, all the bigger tournaments were, you know, around us for the most part, you know, at East Cobb or Lake Point or something like that. You know, we did some trips in Florida, but yeah, I mean, Chattahoochee High School, we weren't the greatest team ever. You know, we actually, I didn't play in a high school playoff baseball game in 4 years. 4 years.
Oh,
I was a 4-year varsity starter, not one. Didn't make the playoffs 4 years in a row. So
you should have just came to Lufkin.
Yeah, I might. Yeah.
How many teams were in y'all's district?
I mean, it was probably just standard 6 to 8 maybe in the district, in our region, probably somewhere in 6 to 8. But
and what, the top two?
And y'all still couldn't make playoffs?
No, couldn't. No, sir.
Was it?
So with that being said, you know, it was rough sledding as far as, you know, the high school ball went, but you know, as far as like the summer ball stuff went, you know, that was, I think, more competitive than the high school environment that I was in, you know. And it just is what it is. You know, I don't have any hard feelings looking back at it. You know, I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Buford High School in Georgia.
Is that the blue and orange school?
No, I think they're green and
they're green. White. Yeah.
Like they had guys like Dylan Lesko, you know, first round pick, right? You know, right hand pitcher, him, you know, a bunch of dudes came out of that high school. Who else? Man, there's some good players in there. But with that being said, it's kind of like I haven't won much in high school, so it was like coming into college, going to Northwest Florida, it was like I've had that chip on my shoulder. Like I'm a winner. I just haven't been literally winning on paper.
Winning.
You know, it's like I get into
Yeah.
college and guys are like, yeah, I've won.
It's in me.
Yeah, it's in me. And it pisses me off, you know, when I meet guys that have, you know, oh, I just won, you know, we just won 4 rings 4 years in a row. I'm like, man, it just drives me, you know, motivates me to, you know, hopefully get that natty ring this year and, you know, beyond that. So that's all I can really take from it.
Growing up in Georgia, did you ever see yourself playing baseball in Oklahoma, or did you want to stay home and maybe be a Bulldog?
Oh, man, that's a good question. I mean, did I ever see myself coming to Oklahoma? Absolutely not. Probably not. You know, I was a super under-recruited, underrated player, I think, in high school. You know, I was a very late bloomer. You know, I really didn't grow until going into my senior year. So, like, all these guys are committing and, you know, signing in sophomore, junior year and everything like that. And I'm just like an average player, you know, if that, you know, not physical at all, don't have the physical ability. Always decent, you know, player. And, you know, not until my senior year. And then, you know, my senior year it was almost like too late. You know, it was like, man, all these Power 5 schools have already signed all of their kids. So end up going to junior college. So, yeah, I mean, that was the best thing for me.
Do you think going the JUCO? Yeah, so going the JUCO route was the best thing for you, basically.
100%, because I
Gave
always
you a chance
knew
to develop and
100%, because like I always knew I was capable of, you know, going to play at a big school. And I'd see these other kids, you know, committing to these huge schools. I'm like, dude, I'm better than this guy. You know, might not have been better than him, but it kind of like I just thought, man, you know, I'm not settling for, you know, something less. I'm going to go to junior college and work this thing out. And then, you know, here I am, get the chance to come to Oklahoma, and it was the best, you know, fit for me and best offer I pretty much had. So, you know, it worked out good.
when you heard that you heard who Reid Hensley was and y'all were rooming together, was it an awkward deal there? Or like y'all were already buddies?
Yeah, it wasn't an awkward deal at all. You know, it was, you know, it was all good. You know, obviously we roomed with different guys last year, but nah, man. You know, Reid's, you know, he's all right. You know, he's only a pain in the ass sometimes, but yeah, I mean, we talked about rooming over the summer, obviously, when we decided we're going to come back. So yeah, no, it was all good. I'm glad we went through with it. I really am.
Who's got the current title of the best golfer in the apartment?
Who's got the what?
Title of the best golfer in the apartment.
Oh,
That's Scott Mudler.
that guy. Not me. I'm a hack, man.
Hey, I will say, I didn't know Scott played golf until this year, and I will say we had a tee time pretty early one football game day morning, and that first tee shot, it was pretty impressive. It was probably about 280 with a little slight draw to it. It was a butter swing. I will say that it was kind of impressive.
You swing it left-handed?
Yeah. 280. Come
That's
on,
another
cut me a little short, Reid. 280.
Well, it was the first swing of the day.
That is true. It was fresh out of bed. You're right.
Gotta loosen up.
Yeah.
Getting to live in Norman and having Oklahoma football. I know y'all didn't have the season y'all wanted to, but y'all got to beat Alabama this year. How cool was it to get to be a part of that and be there for it?
Oh.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Reid, how cool was it, Reid?
Oh no, dude, it was pretty cool watching it in the truck driving back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
Where were y'all at?
Scott, were you at the game?
I was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was it was awesome. You know, it was cool. You know, obviously it was pretty rough sledding for the football team all year for the most part, but just to see them beat Bama and be there watching it, it was pretty cool. You know, apparently historically Oklahoma has done pretty well against Bama in the past, 10 years. I couldn't tell you the exact record, but I'm pretty sure historically they've done decent against Bama. So it was pretty cool to watch that, for the seniors. It was senior night for those boys on the football team. So definitely a big win for them and, spark some kind of, hope into the program, hopefully. It was rough sledding, in the SEC for sure for them.
Y'all, I know your schedules are obviously busy with baseball. Are y'all going to watch any other sports other than football, like basketball games, tennis. I
I
don't know.
mean,
Gymnastics is supposed to be really good at Oklahoma.
the other day we were at the basketball game against Tennessee, but I mean, it's honestly like with our schedule, it's kind of hard to get around and go watch other sports. 'Cause, I mean, that game was, I think, started at 11, and we had practice at 12, so we could only be there for an hour. Then we had to go back over to the field and go through our practice stuff. So it's just kind of hard with your schedule because I mean, I would say every day is somewhat the same, not really. So times kind of change and it kind of throws off your days sometimes. So there's not really a whole lot of free time until basically after practice, and no one really is doing anything after that. There's no games.
Back over to baseball real quick. You being in the position you were last year as a closer reliever, you got through it to some pretty nasty situations and found a way to fight yourself out of them. But what's going through your head when, you get your name called, they're playing your walk-up song? We're going to do better than last year. Me and Trey, we made sure of that. We're going to have a better walkout. So
It was a good walkout.
Whatever they call it. Huh?
I said that was a good walkout. I mean,
What was it last year?
If you're getting ready to get on a bucking horse.
No, it was Joker and the Thief. You can't tell me if you play that song, it's not going to get you fired up.
You had
read it.
You had that was it Broken Window Serenade or something?
Yeah, Broken Window Serenade.
Yeah,
that gets me really fired up to go shove 96. Listening to Whiskey Myers cry his heart out.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a different taste in music. That's the only difference right now.
Trust me and your brother know that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but if you were smart, you'd have listened to him. You would have put Malcolm Kelly on there.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you were played on the post today?
Yes.
That's like a Oklahoma tradition.
Yeah, I've never heard that version. I just have only heard him actually rapping.
I told you there's versions of music and that gets people fired up.
We're good. Y'all basically told to walk out this year, so we're fine. Okay.
Scott, what's your walk-up this
year? This year we're rolling with 50 Cent. It's a little bit, Yeah. That's the title. I don't know if you guys know that little 50 Cent. So, no.
I'm familiar with this game.
Damn, baby, all I need is a little bit. So,
yeah,
we're gonna roll with it and we'll see how it goes.
There you go.
Reid, you're getting called out. Bases are juice. We got one out. They call Reid Hensley in the game, and the only thing going through your head is there's no telling what's going through your head in that situation because, that's a big deal. You're in the Big 12, 1 through 9 can swing it, and you're in the last two of the lineup, bottom of the lineup, and you got 2 outs to get, or your coach is going to be mad, and then you're going to get a phone call from your brother. What's going through your head?
I mean, honestly, I couldn't tell you what goes through my head in those moments because I can't really remember because it's just you have so much adrenaline going through your mind or through your body, and your mind's kind of going everywhere until you actually toe the rubber, and then it's just like I know like in movies and stuff they kind of say like you basically like sound out everything you can't really hear, which honestly like in big moments like that, like I can hear like my walkout song like when I'm going up there warming up and stuff, but as soon as like I step on the rubber to throw my first pitch of the game,
a broken window.
as soon as I toe the rubber, basically throw my first pitch, it's like everything's blank. I don't really hear anything. I'm not trying to think about anything other than just executing that pitch at that time. So I know once I step out there, Skip and Bo have a game plan for me, how I'm going to attack this hitter that's at the plate. The only thing I can control is throwing the ball to the target. And then after that, I mean, it's kind of like out of my hands. Like I can't control if he hits it or not, if he swings through it or anything. I mean, I'm hoping for the best that he either swings through it or if I got one out at that time, he rolls it over to our shortstop Jackson. They turn a double play and we're out of it. But other than that, I'm just out there. I'm like, all right, slider away. Let me throw a slider away right on the money.
I like that, buddy. You seen your roommate run out the bullpen. Get that little goofy run he does, and you're sitting there, and the bases are juiced and everything. And you're like, y'all go up there, y'all meet, and you're like, Reid, if you throw this ball 96 and it doesn't come across this plate, and I miss it, we're gonna have some problems. What are you saying to him?
No, I mean, I got all. He would never do that. I've got all confidence in him. I don't even need to go out there and talk to him. when I see him running in for the bullpen, I've got all confidence in him. He's going to do his job. He's just going to do his job. If he's coming in with no one on base or guys on base, like he said, only thing he can do is just throw it to the glove. That's all he can do. If they, strike him out, you strike him out. If they hit a homer, you can't control that. All you can control is, throwing it.
Baseball.
It's baseball. You're going to give up homers and you're going to strike people out. It's part of it. You want to have good command and just get ahead of hitters. I think that's the best way to go about pitching. You just want to get ahead.
Yeah.
Once you're ahead, you can kind of go in any kind of direction you want. Once you get behind, though, that's where it gets tricky. You get to 2-0, guys on base, a good college hitter is going to be sitting on a fastball in the big part of the plate. And if you miss, if you throw one belt high to a good hitter in the SEC, they're probably going to do some damage. So just getting ahead is, I think, big for every pitcher, especially, Reid and all of our other guys.
Yeah, I think I remember Reid. It might have been 2-1, throwing one belt high to a guy in Cincinnati. But
that was a day game because I was watching that game at work, I believe.
Yeah.
I
threw it and I never got
hit
the
it.
ball back, basically. That's what happened.
No.
Well, hey,
But
you're
Reid-
behind, remember?
I think the count was like 2-1.
Yeah.
Scott,
This is your first year. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to ask Scott. We're talking about pitching, but for you, you're behind the plate and you get the hit. What gets you more fired up? Hitting one over the fence or throwing somebody out?
Man, those are pretty neck and neck, to be honest with you. Just because there's not a lot of better feelings that can top throwing a fast base runner out at second base. I mean, that's like that's one of my favorite parts about baseball. That's why I love playing catcher. Just throwing a guy out. So both of those things is kind of the same feeling. I get just as excited about throwing somebody out or doing whatever than hitting a homer. For sure.
You think you can host Trey?
If Reid's pitching, no.
If he gets 3 chances to steal off of you, you don't think he can get one?
Nope, not one.
No, absolutely not. I'm slow. I know my strength.
Honestly, he could probably 10 hop it, or roll it to second, and Trey's still out.
He could take the glove off and probably throw left-handed. Yeah.
Trey's gonna be looking like he's running in mud. He's gonna be slipping and sliding.
Yeah.
Don't forget you slipped on national TV.
Yeah. Scott, have you ever seen his highlight of playing catcher?
Who?
Reid.
Reid's.
Yeah.
I've seen him catch on YouTube and stuff, but I haven't seen him slip.
When did I slip?
No.
When I ate it.
There was no
you?
slip. The turf monster came up and got a hold of him.
Okay.
On a drop third strike.
Okay, what happened when I tripped?
He did. He's parallel with the ground and somehow throws a guy out at first, but he just tripped over himself.
It wasn't pretty, but I got the job done. That's all.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Okay.
Reid, is this your first year at OU? Is this your first year at any school in the collegiate level to have a full year basically to get to develop as a pitcher this year?
Yeah.
Definitely. How big of a impact is that going to make on your body and your pitching mechanics and basically your day-to-day games this year when you get that chance to get on the mound?
I mean, from last year to this year, or basically every year, I've had basically a different pitching coach and a different strength coach, so I'm always doing different stuff. Like I did different stuff at UIW, different stuff at TJC, and then last year, it was different from those previous years. So getting back to here and kind of working on the same things and building off of what we were doing last year, it's just a benefit for me to just kind of get back to what I was doing and just try to get in shape and get ready.
Do you feel more comfortable on the mound basically this year? That's what I'm asking. When you get out there, you feel more loose, you feel more athletic, you feel like you feel more of a pitcher.
Yeah, I think coming back from last year to this year, I don't know how to really put it in words, but other than I would say I'm a little bit more poised now, I guess. Last year, going out against DBU, like I said earlier, I was super nervous. Now this year, I think, if I get a chance to go out against Lehigh the first weekend,
Play baseball.
yeah, I don't think I'll be as nervous, but I hope I have adrenaline and stuff. But yeah, I mean, coming back and knowing that like these coaches are behind me just like they were last year, and they have that confidence in me to go out there, it's just always gonna like help me become better.
Did you find your six pack this off season?
Nah, I ain't getting no.
I heard a little story how everybody left for the holidays, and they all had six packs, and you had a six pack, but it just had a little thing, a little bit behind it.
What are you talking about? When did I say? Are you talking about I said that?
Yeah, I think your brother told me that.
I was told that you run so much in the fall that don't worry about it. Basically, everybody's going to be in shape. And
yeah, I mean, not
like,
everyone here has six packs. I mean, but from the pitcher standpoint, we run so much, like it don't matter what you look like. You can go out there and run with track runners, basically.
Yeah. So what kind of running are we doing? Is it like Coach called baseball off-season running, or is it it's a little bit more extreme? A Coach Holcomb campus run?
No, I mean, it just kind of changes day to day. I mean, sometimes like today we went long distance. It's still timed. Like I'd say that's the one thing that like it pushes you every time. But every running that we do here is basically time. So you're having to push yourself from the very first sprint to the very last sprint, which I think like sometimes I'm not in the best mood and I don't want to run that far. But like honestly, at the end of the day, it's definitely beneficial. Like last year, I would say mid-season doing the running, it's not very fun. And like at that time, like it's just like you go out there and like, golly, I got to run a 4x4. But honestly, from how I felt in mid-season last year, from the years previous from pitching, like I could go out there and throw 2 innings. Like I'll take West Virginia for example. I threw 2 innings there, and the very next day, like I really wasn't sore. So like just doing all the different. So 4x4 is kind of like long distance, and it kind of gets shorter with each one. After like 4 sprints, the distance changes and the times change. And then like
so we're not running the straightaways and walking the corners.
No, you're running. You
remember those days?
Yeah. No, you're sprinting basically every time. And like today would be a 4x4, and then tomorrow we're doing probably 1200s, and those are time like you got to run them basically in 14 seconds. And I feel like it's more than 100 yards, honestly. And then we'll go to 60s, and then jump rope. So we'll have like 10 sets of 25 jumps, and you're sprinting out 10 yards. So it's basically you're kind of doing a little bit of everything.
It's just like a day-to-day basis. Like this is what you look forward to. Like you have that app, and like you're looking at your agenda for the day, and they're like, you're going to run 16 100s.
No. It's not. It's not. That's not in our app. But basically, you kind of know what you're going up to the field and what you're going to run because it goes off like the days that you throw. So like I knew going into the day I was going to have to run a 4x4, so I was super excited for it.
Scott, are y'all running as much as position players or not?
No, I mean position players, they practice so much, they're always on their feet, so there's no reason for them to run like we do. I mean, we get out there and we shag for an hour while they're hitting, and they're having to run from station to station, and we just kind of stand there and we throw a ball at them. So we do a lot of running in practice and stuff and before games, but with them, like they're out there on their feet 9 innings for a game, and like people may not think that's much, but standing out there and having to do everything that
Trust
they do.
I know it's a lot. At the college level, are y'all able to shoot a few jump shots in the bucket, or we got a bucket guy? Like, what's that like in practice?
No. When we're at practice, we mean business. We're not out there jacking around.
So no jump shots.
No jump shots.
Y'all had
maybe like one every once in a while, but you got to be
better not be seen.
Yeah.
For the most part, probably not, because at at our level, everything's on kind of the clock. We can't go over a certain amount of practice hours per day. So if we're out there joking around, we're technically kind of burning daylight. Kind of wasting time there. So if we're doing our own thing and we're up at the field after hours, we can do whatever we want, as far as that goes. But as far as we can't go over the practice hours, so we're pretty much doing everything as fast and as efficient as we can.
Y'all had the what was it, like the Greek Life Home Run Derby? Did y'all find any diamonds in the rough that can hold a pinch hit spot at all?
No.
did
I mean,
anyone get one out?
Granted, when we did that, it was like 30-something degrees and the wind was blowing straight in.
Oh,
But I don't know. And I will say the guy throwing BP doesn't normally throw BP, so he was probably a little rusty at it to give him the best pitches to hit. But I mean, I think the closest one was like one hop the warning track. Like not even, or actually there was there one that hit the left field wall on a one hop?
It might have been, yeah.
Yeah.
But I felt terrible for him because the wind was literally blowing in probably 15 miles per hour. So I mean, like if we got in the box, us hitters, like we would have put a couple out, but like you have, like when the wind's blowing in that much, you're not gonna get one up in the jet stream, and it's not just gonna leave the yard. Like there would have been 100% a couple homers if the wind was either no wind or blowing out a little bit. But yeah, I felt bad for the frat boys.
Are they swinging BB cords? Did y'all give them some Exos or maybe a catalyst or anything?
They brought their own bats.
God.
I think there was one drop 5, but I don't think that guy let anybody else use it.
No one's bringing out any orange stealths or anything.
No, I thought we may have had some like in our equipment room, just like some drop 5s, but they didn't have any, and so like the guys just kind of brought their own bats. Which I mean, if they would have swung if a couple of them would have swung a drop 5, there may have been 1 or 2 to go out.
Yeah.
Scott, looking forward to this 2025 season in SEC. Where are you most, fired up and, excited to get to play at?
Athens, Georgia. No brainer.
It's a home game.
Yeah. Coming home, that's no brainer. We go to Athens this year. That's going to be hands down the one I'm looking forward to the most. Flying into the A, going to the airport, these guys that haven't experienced Hartsfield-Jackson Airport are gonna, they're in for a treat on that one. One of the most.
Do you have any buddies at Georgia playing?
A couple that play, yeah. Probably more buddies that don't play, that are just at the school. So I'd say more that are just enrolled at Georgia and just family and friends. I think a lot of my family and friends are going to be at that series. Just because it's so hard for them to come see me play right now, and a lot of them have never even seen me play, past high school, going to Florida out of high school and then coming to OU. So that's gonna be a big one for me. I'm looking forward to it.
So when I show up, I'm gonna hear some Scott heckling.
Oh yeah, you should. You should, yeah. Hopefully.
Hey, I'm just gonna say, at least you weren't at Texas catching and get called the Michelin Man. So.
Is that what they called you?
Yeah, they were like, these were like frat guys that sat right behind. And there was a pop-up hit kind of toward the dugout, and I go, and they hit the net. They're like, "Nice try, Michelin Man." And then they're like, one of them like started calling me Pillsbury Doughboy and stuff like that. And I was just kind of put my mask on. I was like, I thought,
well, you were salty.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, I can't yell.
Reid, where are you looking forward to playing at? You can't say Texas. You can't say A&M.
Well,
I mean,
it goes to them.
Yeah, Texas comes to us, and we don't play A&M this year. But I'd say one team that I've always wanted to play against, like we're not going to them, but they're coming to us, is LSU. So that's what I'm kind of
looking for. It's going to be electric.
Because, I mean, LSU is always one of the top teams in the country. And also Vandy. Vandy's also coming to us that I'm looking forward to playing. But if I had to say one team that I would like to play at their place is Mississippi State. Yeah. Just because I know the
facility. That'd be nice.
But we're playing them here this year.
Scott, is there any how cordial are you to guys in the box? Like, are you chirping them at all, or is it just straight business back there?
Yeah, it depends. It definitely depends. I like to be respectful, for the most part. I respect the game,
Ump's right there.
I respect the game. You have to. You got to respect the game because the game knows. If you're playing the wrong way or something, something's gonna happen to you. You're gonna get a home run robbed off you or something like that. But yeah, there's a time and place. If there's a hitter showing the pitcher up or something like that, I'm gonna say something. But I'm not, out to get anybody. But yeah, if there's a big pimped home run or guys showing up the pitcher, I'm gonna step in on that for sure. I'm gonna stand up for my guys, but I'm not gonna be out to get anybody.
Yeah.
I would.
I think I remember. Was it?
Well, the inter squads that we've been playing, that's a little bit different. When we've been scrimmaging each other, if there's a certain guy that steps in the box, I'm like, dude, if we've got a dude on the mound, I'm just gonna let him know, man, this guy's gonna start toying with you. Get ready.
I think every sporting event me and Trey have been like feet away from, I've looked at him and said, there's no way I could be out there without running my mouth.
Yeah. Every time. Anytime he sees something, he's like, there's no way. I'd be talking too much shit.
I feel like in sports, like chirping at each other, like that's what makes it fun.
Like I get fired up watching it. Like when y'all played, what was it, Duke in the regional last year? That got a little chippy.
Yeah. I mean, because Grant was walking off the mound, the third base coach said something to him, which they can't do that. And it kind of just fired us up. We're like, holy crap, like what's going on right now? Let's go. So I just like kind of like the going back and forth, like I get there's a time and place for that in certain moments. But like I don't mind it at all. I like getting like when people start talking crap to me, I'm like, okay, whatever. Like that's just gonna fire me up more.
Your brother's complete opposite. We played the men's league softball, and you would have swore we were playing in Omaha. Like, I can't say some of the things that he said, but it was bad enough that one guy turned and like looked and was ready. He was about it, and I was like, all right, you're gonna be on your own out here. These some big boys, and. You can attest to that. Just being from Lufkin, it feels like you just play with a different fire and you have a different kind of dog in you. You just grow up like just that nasty dog ready to fight.
I mean, coming from Lufkin, I mean, I would probably say any sport that you play, like you come out as a competitor, like no matter what. I mean, like that's what I would say Coach Scott is really good about is like building competitors in the program. Because like even in like I don't care what sport you play, you can have the most talented team, but if you're playing somebody that's more competitive than you, they can go out there and wipe the floor with you.
Dude, today at Lions Club, Coach Cobb talked about that. He said like he can, basically he puts his hitters in the box with the approach, like you're going to hit the baseball. It's like, you're going to do this like that. Your approach, he was basically going with your approach is everything. If your mind's made up, you have a game plan, you're fired up, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just keep thinking about chirping. Yeah, you grew up with well, me and Jalen probably talking way too much shit all the time.
That's all we do too.
now you're at OU and we're not. So something must have worked. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was the baseball bats.
No, but how does the team react when you have someone like Grant on the mound? That's just, it's hard to describe what he was doing up there, but he just was kind of waltzing around with a little attitude, like, all right, sure, bring it. Like, what does that do to the vibes in the dugout and everybody else? Like,
what? I mean, when you see Grant going out there at 5'0", 100 and nothing, I mean, he's just freaking. Okay, don't look at me like that.
I don't know about that. Yeah, he's probably.
He goes out there and he's just tearing up hitters. I mean, well, you don't see that every day. I mean, you don't see a guy like Grant like playing. Like, I mean, yeah, you can play Division I baseball, but being at OU, I mean, he goes out there with a freaking chip on his shoulder every time. And if he blows 85 miles an hour by you, he's gonna let you freaking know about it. That's what I'll say.
It fires the dugout up though when a guy like Grant is pitching. I mean, it gets our guys going and it pisses the other team off maybe, but like you can tell that guy is on the mound and he wants it more than anybody in the entire stadium. So I think when a guy like that's on the mound, everyone feeds up, off of that. Everybody in the dugout is like, come on, this guy wants it.
Yeah. Who are I know you lost kind of one of those guys that was, I watching the games last year, you saw, was it Carter Frederick just dancing around, being the high vibes guy? Who's that this year with the team?
I
Or do
would
we not know yet?
say,
Might not know yet.
yeah, I don't really know anybody that's like Carter this year. But I mean, everyone just kind of picks each other up. I mean, during inter squads, like no matter if you're pitching against that guy at that moment, like if they're coming off the mound, you're going there high fiving them, or you're walking over to your position players coming to that guy and high fiving. I'd say everyone's pretty good about that. It's like that's what like I don't know what the saying is, but like you high five someone, like it just like builds like confidence and like I don't know, good emotions, I don't know, something like that. So we're always doing it.
It's good juju.
Yeah, basically.
Reid, this upcoming season, this is it. This is the last run college baseball. So for a fact, me and your brother are gonna give you SHIT for every little thing.
Yeah.
You've had us there to do all the SHIT talking to you for all these years. So this is it. So we want both you guys to have a great season, have a big season, and do big things. So maybe Trey can be your agent and I can tag along. We need strikes. We need high velo like you have, and just go be a dog.
We need Muddy framing it up. Good.
Need Muddy framing it up, being a wall, hitting 500 this year.
Hell yeah.
Is that something 50 Cent playing? You got to do it.
Hey, it's possible, man.
Yep.
It's a long season, and going to the SEC is not going to be an easy one. But y'all had a lot of success in the Big 12, and if you can play baseball, you can play baseball anywhere. And I love what Ray DeLeon says with the Bandios: if you hit, you don't sit, and that's something y'all do very well is swing the bat.
Yeah.
Hunter Jones just sent a question in for you. He said, ask him if he thinks he's getting on the bump against the Horns or if he's going to give up another bum.
Oh.
I don't know. We'll see whenever they come to our house and we go 3-0 against them. So,
Hunter Jones was another one. He could sling the baseball around when he was about 13, 14 years old.
yeah. I mean, I would definitely say growing up, he threw the hardest out of all of us. He just had a bad road with it. Had some
He was a grown man at 9 years old.
Yeah. I mean, the dude, I think when we had the team where we almost made it to the World Series, it was like we took like a picture with like the banner and stuff, and it's going like this, and then all of a sudden it goes whoop, and you got 100 guys in the rubber stand right here, and it goes back down. It was kind of funny.
That's another thing. What's y'all's arm care like at OU?
It's kind of it's nothing. Nothing's the same with anyone because everyone throws different. Everyone's got different ways of warming up and stuff. So we have a guy, Justin, who's kind of like biomechanic or sports science basically, and he kind of like shows us like we do a bunch of like testing and stuff to see where like our weak points are or where we start out good at, and then like we were starting to get weaker. So your kind of warm up changes with him like on a day-to-day basis. And we're always doing tests and stuff. So it's never the same, but it's always like for you in your own way.
Muddy, as far as you being a catcher, what are some of the things y'all do during practice that you never did before at the JUCO and high school level?
Yeah, I mean, really just catch every day. Being a catcher, some days in junior college we're a bit lighter and you might not put the gear on that day, but you're really putting the gear on every single day at this level, and you're just perfecting your craft every day. So that's really it. Receiving, blocking, throwing. We're doing it every day. We're doing a lot of machine work. That's another thing, I think the machine is such a big tool to use, not only hitting, but, catching too. You can simulate any kind of pitch off a pitching machine to simulate a game or any kind of pitch you want, just to work on your, technique back there. So that's the biggest thing, just working on it every day. But I've been doing it all my life. So, I know what I need to improve on, and I know what, I'm good at and everything like that. So I think I've got a pretty good feel with it back there.
Reid can help you a little bit back there. He knows a thing or two.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that was about 2 years ago. Actually, a year ago. Scott knows it. I was doing that a little bit last year.
I've seen clip. Hey, he can throw it from back there. That's one thing he can do. I've seen some video of him throwing some guys out. He could do that a little bit. That's about all.
A little bit. A little bit.
Yeah, he said he was good defensively. He could throw.
Yeah.
I was not saying I was a top tier framer, but if the ball was coming in, it was going to stay right there. Try to get moved to the strike zone. I blocked pretty well, and I threw guys out. It's just when it got to the plate, that's where it was a little shaky.
Well,
That
Trey, you got anything else?
No, I was hoping I could get that video on the end so Scott could see it and get his reaction live, but
Oh man.
Carrot didn't come up clutch. Just
Yeah,
pull it up
Carrot
and show it on your camera. I want to see it. I've seen it a time or two.
it's.
Are we talking about when I fall? You can click off of the.
Oh,
Oh, go back one more time.
I was going the wrong way with it.
I'm just showing how much of an athlete I am, basically.
Oh no!
Now you're
Oh, I
like,
see it. Yeah, I see it.
Turf Monster got him.
Look, he's got all the time in the world.
oh! How did you make that throw?
I'm an athlete.
That was a good throw.
Second best athlete in the family.
Yeah.
Well, Reid, Muddy, we thank y'all for taking the time out of y'all's busy evening. I know y'all got a lot to do tonight and get your bags packed and get ready to get to Round Rock this week. I'm sure that's something that's now. Yet today's Tuesday. Golly,
Yeah.
I thought it was Thursday for some reason. But good luck to you guys this season. I know Trey will be there to support you guys a lot. I'm gonna try to catch a game or two this year. See how that works out. But, going to the SEC, y'all know what it's all about. Y'all know what it takes to win. Y'all been there in the Big 12. So, the SEC shouldn't be nothing different for you guys. You just go play baseball. And I wish y'all nothing but the best. Reid, take care of your arm. Throw strikes.
Yeah.
Muddy, be a wall, hit the ball.
Yes, sir.
It's, not much to it. And, Trey, you want to give him a Boomer Sooner real quick?
Oh no, I said I'd never do that. Oh.
I saw let you do it.
Oh no, I don't think I will. But
Oh,
appreciate
man.
you guys. No,
Little brother,
Hey,
you can't even say it.
He walks around Oklahoma gear like he's proud to be a Sooner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This says golf. It was a cool hat. I had to pick it up.
I know if the Stafford family's watching, they love them some Oklahoma sports.
Yeah.
But before we let you guys go, big shout out to our guy Austin Brown and Zilker Belts. Go to zilkerbelts.com, use discount code PINES936 for all online orders to receive 25% off. We thank those guys for everything they do. Maybe they can hook these OU baseball players up with some belts or a couple of hats or something.
Oh yeah.
Do a little represent for the Zilker Belt guys. But we thank y'all for tuning in live from the Pines. You can tune in this weekend and watch a little OU baseball. Scott Muddy behind the plate and Reid Hensley on the mound. Maybe we might get to see the dynamic duo this weekend. But again, good luck to you guys, and thank y'all for tuning in to Live from the Pines. We thank y'all for everything.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.